Hi, and welcome to today's experiment. We're going to run an electronic auction in which 3 items are for sale. We call these items primary, secondary 1, and secondary 2. In the experiment, each item has a certain value to you. Your personal values table will tell you the value that each item has in that particular experiment. In this personal values table, we can see that Charlie has a value of 10 cents on the primary item and 7 cents on each of the secondary items. Your values are different to the values of other bidders. Other bidders don't know your values and you don't know theirs. Okay, so here we have Charlie's values of 10 cents on the primary item and 7 on each of the secondary items. Now let's have a look at Charlie bid in an electronic auction. On Charlie's personal bidding information, he can see his login ID and his password. He enters his ID and password into the auction system and logs in. Let's freeze the auction here and talk about some of the features on the screen. On the auction screen, Charlie can see what's happening in the auction up the top, and he can enter his bids in the middle. Here we have the auction clock. It counts down, and every time a new bid is entered, it's reset. When the auction clock reaches 0, the auction ends. Here we can see the 3 items that are for sale in the auction, and here we can see the current leading bids. Because the auction has just started, the leading bids are all at 0. To make a bid, Charlie selects the item he wants to bid on. He clicks on that item, the row turns yellow, and we can see here that Charlie has selected to bid on the primary item. Please ignore this part of the screen today. We won't be using it. Now Charlie's selected the primary item, he can use these buttons here to enter his bid. The plus button moves Charlie's bid 1 cent above the current leading bid. Here we can see Charlie's entered a bid of 1 cent on the primary item. If he's happy with this, he clicks here to place his bid. Charlie's bid of 1 cent on the primary item is now the leading bid. He knows he has the leading bid because the row is gold. The red dot tells us there's been a new bid, and the new bid has reset the countdown clock. Charlie sees another bidder has entered a new bid on the primary item and outbid him. The new bid has reset the countdown clock. He can see here that the new leading bid is for 2 cents on the primary item. And here he can see that his last bid on the primary item was for 1 cent. Now Charlie sees that someone's entered a bid of 1 cent on the secondary 1 item. Charlie thinks about what to do next. The current price on the primary item is 2 cents, so he would have to bid 3 cents. His value is 10 cents. If his bid 1, he could make a profit of 7 cents. The current price on the secondary 1 item is 1 cent, so Charlie could make a bid of 2 cents. His value is 7 cents, so the profit he would make if that bid was successful is 5 cents. There's currently no bid on the secondary 2 item, so Charlie could make a bid of 1 cent, and with his value of 7 cents, he could make a profit of 6 cents if that bid was successful. Looking at his options, Charlie decides to go for a profit of 7 cents by bidding 3 cents on the primary 1 item next. Charlie checks that he has the primary item selected and enters a bid of 3 cents. Here we can see another bidder has outbid Charlie's bid of 3 cents with a new bid of 4 cents on the primary item. See that the clock has reset and the red dot alerts us to the fact that a new bid has come into the system. Charlie thinks about what to do now. He takes note of the current prices on the items and his values for the items, which are given to him in his personal values table. He works out he could make a bid of 5 cents on the primary item for a potential profit of 5 cents, or a bid of 2 cents on the secondary 1 item for a potential profit of 5 cents, or a bid of 1 cent on the secondary 2 item for a potential profit of 6 cents. He likes the sound of a potential profit of 6 cents and decides to bid 1 cent on the secondary 2 item. Charlie clicks on secondary 2 up the top to ensure that he has secondary 2 item selected for bidding. He uses the plus button to enter a bid of 1 cent. He double checks that secondary 2 item is selected and that he's entered a bid of 1 cent, and then he clicks place bid. Charlie can scroll down and read in text what has happened to his bid. He can also see up the top that his current bid of 1 cent on the secondary 2 item is the leading bid. The row is gold. He can see that his new bid has reset the auction clock, which is now counting down again. Let's skip forward. Because no one has entered a bid, the auction clock approaches 0, and when it reaches 0, the auction ends. With the auction ended, Charlie can see that he has won the secondary 2 item with a price of 1 cent. So what does this mean for Charlie? Well, profit equals the value of the item less the price paid for the item. Charlie won the secondary 2 item, which had a value of 7 cents, and he paid a price of 1 cent. So Charlie's profit is 6 cents. Charlie's experimental earnings are his profit made in the auction multiplied by his take-home factor. On his private bidder information sheet, he can see his take-home factor is 30. So Charlie's earnings for the experiment are 6 cents times 30, which are $18. Okay, let's get ready for you to participate in an auction. Note in front of you you've got an auction cheat sheet. You can use it during the auction to remind yourself of what to do. It tells you what various things on the screen mean, and it also outlines the steps that you need to take to make a bid. Have a look at your auction cheat sheet now, and then we'll have a practice with the auction system before we get started on the real thing. Thanks for listening.